Now, a significant development in the fight for victims of scams to recover their money has been made, with New Zealanders now being able to use the fraud recovery services of Cyberia through a partnership with NetSafe. This is going to help victims of fraud recover their money from international banks and crypto. It sounds like a great initiative and development. And NetSafe CEO Brent Kerry joins us on the program this morning to discuss this. Morena, good morning, Brent.
Morena, thanks for having me.
Great to have you here. This sounds like a really great development. And I've read a little bit about Cyberia that, it's got proven track records and tracking funds in other markets. And now this partnership here with NetSafe and others in this alliance in New Zealand. Brent, how did this come to be?
Yeah, so we take more than 15,000 scam calls a year at NetSafe, and
Wow.
people were contacting us more about having trouble trying to recover money. And so we looked around in the market and we met Cybera and their team, and we were really impressed with their service because no one's really helping victims. They often get told when the money leaves, there's nothing that can be done. And that's actually a myth because there's quite a lot that can be done to try and freeze money and to try and recover it. And so when we got talking to the team there, we were like, why has this not been offered in New Zealand? And so that's what led us to reach out and form this partnership.
Yeah. Because you hear those
And
stories a lot in the news, don't they? You have people, well, not in the news, you hear of it in your job. 15,000 calls, a lot of them to do with money, but particularly been increasingly hearing stories of individuals who have perhaps invested money, they've done all the checks and balances, the banks let the money go through and then bang, they've lost $100,000. That's, wow, it's kind of beyond words for people. Is this where Cybera can help, Brent?
absolutely. So since launching on the 1st of March, we've already got 15 victims that we're working with. And collectively, that group has lost more than $100,000. And so using this service, we're actively trying to recover that lost and stolen money. And so that's just what in about 6 weeks worth of letting people know that this service exists.
That's great. Now, you just touched on earlier that you said that, these things can happen, that it's a myth. Are you saying that the banks haven't been doing all that they could have done in these situations?
So the banks need to do more and step up, and we're hearing that in relation to authorized and unauthorized transactions, investing more in their technology, and also making it harder, in terms of like confirming payees. This is something that we should be doing. We're also a bit behind when it comes to international best practices.
Yep.
Like some countries are actually also looking at reimbursing victims because these are sophisticated scams. Often this is organized crime. We can't necessarily just say, oh, it's about education and prevention. You have to do a lot more than that, actually.
Mm. So, how does Cybera work? What happens? Okay, I've invested some money overseas. I thought that it was a good thing. I've discovered that I've been scammed. What's the first step that I should take, Brent?
Yeah, so often it's contacting NetSafe so that we can talk you through the process. So it involves filling in a form, and that is about building trust with someone like NetSafe because obviously you've been scammed. You don't know what personal information you need. So
Mm.
we talk you through what the minimum amount of information you need, and then we do a warm transfer to the Cybera team, and the Cybera takes over there. And so often it's about, putting an alert globally and navigating those law enforcement systems and that victims just, are overwhelmed with, don't know how to even start that process, what information they need to gather, who they need to contact. And so Cyberia takes all that headache away for people because they're used to dealing with this and can coach people through what they need.
So, Siberia, how long this has it been around? Not in New Zealand, but globally.
So a couple of years, but the two brothers that started this have actually been involved in the Swiss prosecution and are actually legally trained. So
Wow.
they've actually got quite a lot of skill in relation to using the legal system to try and help victims. And that's why they really formed Cybera, was to do more in this asset recovery and fraud space. So that even though the company's relatively new, that the team there have been working in this cyber fraud space for quite a while.
That's amazing. So, because of this connection, this partnership you've made with Cybera, it means that the victims have just got this connection to this international, far reaching, and a whole lot of experience that we didn't previously have, Brent.
Absolutely. So this wasn't a space that was available before, and so we wanted to step in as New Zealand's trusted charity that's been dealing with online safety issues for more than 25 years.
Yeah, that's so amazing. I think it's fantastic, but I guess it sort of just leaves me a little bit concerned that you guys have stepped into this gap and you're doing what you do, and it's awesome. But do you think then the banks are just going to go, oh, well, Cybera, NetSafe, they take care of this now?
I don't think so, because of course they also want to care about their customers, and they don't want their customers to be fraud, in a fraud situation either, right? That's bad for banking. So obviously it takes a network of networks to
Yeah,
disrupt the scammers. So we need the banks in this helping as much as at the end of the process. We need to build resilience. We need better tools, and when it all goes wrong, we have to help victims, because this is about getting back online and confidence in internet banking,
yeah.
and we need to, make people resilient when these losses happen, so they can get back up online and participate in e-commerce and all the other things we're asking of them.
Yeah. And so when Cybera takes over, acting on behalf of the victim, are they sort of end up working in with the bank as well? Does that sort of happen? They develop that relationship.
Yes, that's right. So, and also more importantly, like with law enforcement, so with Interpol, and obviously the 170 different countries around the world that work in tandem to try and disrupt the fraudsters.
Mm.
So it is about relationship building and partnerships. So it is, the banks have a big role to play here as well.
Yeah. So just to clarify, crypto helps with it's to do with international banking and crypto. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right, and that's another unique offering point. Like, who's helping people when their crypto wallets get compromised and they lose access? There's not many other services that are also working with the crypto exchanges to try and get that currency back for people, and
Mm.
that's another unique part of the Cybera offering.
So for Joe Average on the street, is contacting NetSafe and accessing the Siberia support, is that free?
Yes, so it's free for international banking. There is a charge for crypto, because
Okay.
the crypto, we're hoping that through the partnership that the whole service will be able to be free, but just the free bits for the banking. But crypto is a little bit more complex than the
Mm.
international banking system.
Yeah, well, congratulations. I just think this is really fantastic what you guys are doing. And it's awesome that it's there to support Kiwis. The best way to get in touch if you're and your heart's maybe bouncing around listening to this conversation, thinking, I need some help, or you know somebody who does, get hold of NetSafe. Go to netsafe.org.nz, netsafe.org.nz, or you can call them 0508 NetSafe. That's 0508 NetSafe. Brent Kerry, thank you so much for your time today. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.